Welcome back to part three. As I mentioned at the end of part two, I'm really getting obsessed. It's beyond inspiration now with this piece. And I mentioned that I'd like to orchestrate it. So that's a whole nother ball game. And thank you all, by the way, for hanging in there with me. I know I am not doing easel, surge, Hordijk, analog synths on these talks, but I think they're all applicable to whatever you're doing in electronic music. And orchestration surely is. And hopefully, a couple of these tips, even if you're not composing music, if you're just exploring patches, this first one might be of use. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm only going to play the first 5/7, and I'm going to orchestrate it. All the notes you hear are just these two lines. I'll be taking it down an octave. Uh, the top line is going to be played by a French horn and eventually joined by an English horn. The bottom line is going to be pizzicato by a string bass and harp. And then I'm just going to sustain some of these other notes with strings um, to fill it out. So I'm not harmonizing this, I'm not doing anything other than that. Probably my inspiration for this is Eric Sauté's work and Maurice Ravel. So I'm going to switch over to the DAW. I'll be working in Logic 10 Pro with just their sample library. And I'll talk you through there. Okay, thanks. So just to orient you, these two lines are this is the full score. As I say, I'm only going to go up through, I think, bar 14 or 15. And I'm just playing this back on a Steinway Grand sample. So this is what it sounds like. And of course, it's slower than what we were listening to before. And that already takes it into a different realm. Here we go. Okay, here are those two lines we just heard, but I've given the top line to the French horn and I've lengthened some of the notes. And as you can see near the end, I actually turned it, it's like three French horns that will actually create a little chord there. The bottom line, I have put in string bass, upright string bass, and I've chosen pizzicato and I've chosen to mute certain notes. So already having the top line sustained and the bottom line pizzicato will give it a whole different feel. And I'm also going to double that bottom line with the harp. So now, same tempo, just these three instruments. And using this same technique of just taking some of the notes and lengthening them out, up here in the violas, partway through, I do that same thing. It's still using the notes as in the melody. And English horn picks up the melody, doubles the melody with the French horn partway through at bar 5. And then I've invented this little part at the end. It's flutes and they're just going through like 16th note patterns, but it's all the notes that you see in the score. And finally, I think the other sort of invented part, though it's clearly the notes in the scale, in the score, is a high violin part just that comes in. So, all together now. So there's so much more to play with there, but hopefully this gives you the idea. It doesn't take that much to orchestrate, and sometimes just removing things, as I did with some of the pitches in the bass, opens things up. Again, thank you so much for staying with me on this. And, you know, when Kennedy first put this out back on October 20th on his Instagram, he put out a call for people to play it and send him their variations. So um, feel free to go after it. You know, I'd love to hear what you do with it. There you go. I'm not sure if there'll be another one. I've sort of taken you through 6 iterations. Uh, but I actually will keep you informed as these grow into larger pieces. Okay, thanks again. Ciao.